Congratulations. You've just been hired as the new project manager of an organization that has never had a project manager before. I know. I know what you're thinking. Yes, I'm going to add so much value to the team and the organization. Then this happens. Stay tuned if you want to learn more. If you're new to the channel, I go by the name of ED. For all you smart and intelligent folks out there, it just simply means Ed. I have an 8-point framework, and these 8 points I plan to unpack today's title. Today's title is entitled Breaking New Ground, Strategies for Thriving as Your Company's First, and I do mean first, project manager. I remember, family, if you mind, if you don't mind, I hope you mind, because I would love to tell you a story. A quick story at that. See, I remember when this organization I was so excited for, I sat through the interview, and the manager said, hey, I'm really impressed with your credentials, and I'm looking forward to connecting and working with you. We have a big task at hand. And I said, okay, well, what is this big task? He said, well, we need to build out a really good PMO in this organization, and we don't have one. So first step is that we need to put some governance and framework around that. And I see you mentioned you built out PMOs. I said, yes, I have. I said, well, what have you guys done thus far? He said, well, we started putting all the frameworks together. We've been meeting with the project managers and putting the frameworks and governance together, and we are going to present it to the stakeholders. And I said, ooh, that's not good. He said, what do you mean it's not good? I said, you left out some very key points. So today, family, you're going to understand, if it was me pushing into a new organization, what type of points, as I should say, frameworks that I would put in. What are strategies? What would I actually do? Now, because I don't want to keep this a long video, there's so much more to this, but I want to give you a high level. If you show me much love, maybe we'll just have a deep dive into this topic next time when it comes up, or let's see what happens. Let's move on to point number one. Cultivate a culture of feedback. Listen, family, if you want people to buy into your program, if you want people to get that ticket, if you want people to believe that what you're putting together is going to be valuable, you need the team to buy in. You need the culture of the organization to buy in. Here's an actionable step. Implement regular feedback sessions, including peer-to-peer feedback. Train team members, ooh, that is key. Train team members on how to give and receive feedback constructively. We don't do that enough. A lot of times when you build out a PMO, or you're the new project managers, we want to dive in face first. Oops, I mean feet first. I mean, we want to dive in and show our intelligence. But see, you have to understand, slow down. You're moving too fast. You got your foot on the gas when it should be on the brake. I know that's a song for somewhere. I don't know where I got that from, but I want to share with you what I'm saying here, family, is that you want to make sure that you get true buy-in, and getting buy-in is cultivating feedback from the rest of the organization. If you go ahead and move forward and put everything in place and you don't get their buy-in, they're going to be hesitant to want to assist you and actually build this out of what you're building. And if you're not building out a PMO, at least project management standards, the basic standards. All right, let's go on to point number two. Point number two, engage in strategic networking. The key word here, or words I should say, is strategic and networking. Here's another actionable step. All of these are actionable steps. You know, I want to make sure that from now on something like this, that we do more of a actionable step, meaning you can take this information today and go apply it tomorrow or next week. But you need to apply this information, family. It's going to help you as you go along in your journey of being that first project manager, because what you don't realize is that you're setting the stage for either for project managers that are coming behind you, or how the organization makes a decision if they want to hire more project managers. And the only way you can do that is following a framework in which I said we will go a deeper dive. If I get a lot of love and feedback and you guys leave me comments, say, hey, ED, we want you to go deeper, I'll definitely do that. Okay, let's get back to point number 2. Actionable steps. Set a goal to connect with a specific number of new contacts each month. So what I used to do is, family, I would put in my calendar for that week or that for that week, and I'll do it week over week and say, okay, I want to connect with, and make it. Don't try to exhaust yourself, because you got to keep in mind this is a process. This is a journey. This is not going to happen overnight. And if that's the case, say, hey, I want to connect with 5, whatever's in your bandwidth. But for me, I was saying I want to connect with 5 people. What does that look like? What it looked like is every day I would set up a meeting with a particular stakeholder or basically a manager over that department. I would put together an agenda, and I also, before, watch this, family, because this is going to be key, because a lot of people don't want to sit down and be in a meeting with you. So especially in something new, because it's like, oh, here comes another new thing. You again going, it's a combination of point 1. Basically, what you want to do is reach out to that person and say, hey, I'm setting up this meeting. I want to know, are there anything that you would like to talk about in a meeting? I'd like to add it to the agenda, because I want to ensure that we're keeping this meeting concise, within 30 minutes or less. And if we need a follow-up meeting, we'll do that. But what we want to do is we want to create connections, regularly and often. And just don't go in there talking about business. Learn something about the stakeholder of that particular department, because if you do, and then put it on your calendar. Another tip, I'm giving you all the value today, because I really want you guys to be successful. And I know that there may be, again, like I said, a project manager that may be coming behind you, or organization may be watching this and say, man, we thought about hiring project managers, but we don't know. So I want to shift that mindset as well. You want to be able to document if this stakeholder has kids, or there's something that their birthday or something, and you want to be able to document that, so you'll know when it comes up, oh, let me wish such and such stakeholder a birthday. Oh, their kid's birthday is this day. Let me wish them a happy birthday. See, you don't understand. It's not nothing. It's the little things that actually count. Hey, thank you so much for watching today's episode. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. You guys was watching, but you're not hitting that like and subscribe. Show your boy some love. Your boy some love. I really need the love, though. And also, it means the world to me if you guys do. Let's move on to point number 3. Point number 3, embrace failure as a learning opportunity. Listen, through the whole transition, you want to institute lesson learned session after each project, milestone. I mean, after every interaction. And the reason why I'm saying that, I know that sounds aggressive, because normally what you would do is, if you were working in an organization that are very familiar, like they have a PMO and they're used to having project managers there, you may have you will be documenting your lessons learned throughout the whole project, and then at the end you would go over everything fully. But what I'm telling you here is that after each milestone, you want to have a discussion with those stakeholders. Hey, what did we do well? What didn't we do well? What can we learn from what we did well? And also, what can we learn that we didn't do well, so we won't do that thing again? So I say that, family, because it allows them to see you really care. It allows them to see you're about taking action and not just making a interest type claim. You're actually committed to improving the processes that are in place. Point number 4, optimize resource allocation. Here's an actionable step here for you. Use resource management software to track and allocate resources effectively. Stop the tape. Stop the doggone tape, because I already know what I'm going to hear. Well, what software I should use? Should I use that software, or should I use that? If you're in a company and again, since they're new, since they don't have project managers, pull out the good old Excel spreadsheet. Go to your stakeholders and say, hey, how many hours are you allocating for this project? You got 10? Okay, I got 10 hours. Is that monthly, weekly? We don't have to complicate this, family. See, what happens is a lot as humans, especially someone that's been certified in PMP or has their CAPM or has any degree or certification. We complicate it because we have all of these tools. Remember, the whole purpose of building out your toolbox is exactly that. It's a toolbox. So you need to know when to reach in there to get a Phillips. You need to know when to reach in there and get a flathead. Oh, I'm just talking about screwdrivers and flat. Okay, how about this? You need to know when you need to go in there and use Microsoft Project. You need to know when you need to go in there and use a Smart Sheets. You need to know when you need to go in there and use a Asana or a Monday.com. So basically, what I'm saying to you, family, if there's no budget in place for these tools or they don't have them, that's a sign to say, hey, let me just build out a simple Excel spreadsheet, talk to my stakeholders, and see what their bandwidth is and document that. That's simple and clear and plain. Let's move on to point number 5. Point number 5, incorporate customer feedback into project phases. You know the project phases, right? If you don't, here we go. Initiate, planning, execute, monitor, and controlling. Each phase, I know it sounds aggressive, but family, you really have to trust me on this, because if you do not make the decision as you're navigating through each of these phases to get feedback, because this is something that is new. And when it's something new, people have already created, or I should say, stakeholders have already created a perception of what a project manager does and is. Ooh, I like that. Let me tell you why I like that, family, is because of the fact that until they have an opportunity to really see project management in full force, you can't just give them everything right now. You need to take steps. You need to enjoy the journey, and you need to have them enjoy the journey as well. So how do we do that? Here's an actionable step. Create surveys, create focus groups. That's my favorite, creating focus groups. What I would do is I would send out, hey, I like to get some volunteers for a focus group. They're going to say, well, what are we focusing on? Excellent question. What we're focusing on is making sure that you understand what a project manager does and does not do. At the same time, we're going to build processes in place. And again, these processes are not static. Static meaning that it's not forever. It is definitely flexible, but we need to get something in place to ensure that we can meet these triple constraints. Also, we need to do a lot of beta testing opportunities. By doing this, family, doing these things, you're able to collect feedback. You're able to collect insight, because again, you are in a organization that either A, they've never worked with a project manager before, or B, they have and didn't have a great experience, and that's why they didn't hire any project managers going forward. And they took a shot on you because they liked something about you during the interview, during the interviewing process, that they said, okay, we're going to go ahead and give a shot. Or here's the last and final piece is that maybe the stakeholders have been saying, man, we're overworked and we just don't have the bandwidth, and we're trying to keep track of all these different things, and we just can't. And so that's where your skill set comes in. Point number 6, utilize data, and I do mean data driven decision. I'm not talking about Dana. I'm talking about data driven decisions. What that basically means is, here's an actionable step for you, family. Implement tools for tracking and analyze. Hold up, wait a minute. Here we go again. I know what you're thinking. We've had this conversation two points ago about, okay, what type of software do I need to use for these data-driven type opportunities? We're gonna go take it back to the basics. See, family, I'm coming at you from the very baby basic steps, because the baby basic steps, see, when you remember when a baby was first trying to learn how to walk, they just didn't get up and just start taking off running. They had to walk and fall down, walk and fall down. See, you want to, if there's no budget in place, nor is the organization at that current time thinking about purchasing any project management software tools, you need to be able to present your case, and being able to present your case is leveraging a Microsoft Office suite. Excel is a good tool. You can use that. I'm not saying it's the best when it comes to being able to track when you get bigger and bigger projects and larger stakeholders, but I can assume, and I hate assuming anything, that it's an opportunity for you to track everything that is going on, and it's going to be a lot of manual tracking. However, you still can do it, and eventually now you have an opportunity to take that data and say, hey, listen, this is costing my time X amount of time as far as when I'm leading these projects? Can we look at investing in a trial first before we purchase a whole suite? Because you have to create a buying reason. Why should that organization buy a particular software before they move forward? So implementing tools for tracking and analyzing project performance. Use this data to inform future, and I do mean future project decisions, to adjust and strategize. Point number 7, this is my favorite message. Promote an outcome orientated mindset. What does that look like? During planning sessions, you want to make sure that we're focused on specific outcomes based on the project objective. I know it's nice to look at the task like, oh, I finished that task. That's great. I'm glad you finished that task. But we need to focus on the milestone. And then from the milestones, once we get all the milestones knocked out the way, our project should, in a slight, be already completed. So we can't get so caught up in the task that we lose focus of the milestones, of which allows us to close that project. Point number 8, and this right here, I saved it the best for last. So if you stuck around, I appreciate you, because this right here is going to be able to help you grow as a project manager. Number one, coming into an organization that does not have a project manager. Foster a culture of transparency. You're going to have to create a safe space. And it may not be with everyone that you wanted to create it with. It may be with a select number. But with those select numbers, they're going to be your they're going to be your mouthpiece, in so many words, for having your back. So implementing a project dashboard accessible to all stakeholders for real-time updates. You know I'm about to lose it, so here we go. I know what you're thinking. Well, company is not going to get smart sheets, or they're not going to get Asana, or they're not going to get Monday.com, or they're not going to use a Slack. Well, let me explain something, family. We're going back to the basics again. You can leverage an Excel document, or better yet, what I recommend is getting a PowerPoint presentation and putting together that. If you would love for me to do that, I would love to give that away to you for free. Leave a message for me. I'll put something together for you as a framework, so you can see what it should look like, and then you can take it from there and model it. Matter of fact, you can steal my homework, as Cody would say. You can steal it right away. I'll give it to you. But the point I'm trying to make here is ensuring that you schedule weekly project review meetings with the team members and monthly updates with the stakeholders. I have one last and final bonus, family. If you've done everything from point 1 to 8, your eventual goal, your eventual opportunity is to build what we call a PMO, and you should be aware of a PMO, project management office. The reason why a project management office is very important, I call it separating church and state. Okay, translation, that just basically meaning that you have people that report into a different department, and then you have the PMO office that is supposed to protect the project managers. That's my sum up of what I think of a PMO, but I'll unpack that a little bit more for you. Being able to have a PMO, it really highlights that the benefits on your ROI, return on investment. Being able to identify key stakeholders and secure their buy-in with fundamental elements of project management document standards and reporting frameworks. This is what the PMO is so important for, especially when a PMO is built off the PMBOK. Project management, the project management body of knowledge. The importance of being able to build that off of that particular framework and adjust and adapt based on the organization. Hey, family, I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And for any project manager that's walking into an organization, or I should say basically that's just got hired into an organization, and you're the first project manager that they've either worked with, or they made a decision again to have project management back into the organization. I hate to put the pressure on you, but I'm putting it on you that it's time for you to be able to step up and show them what project management is about. If you have any further questions, comments, or feedbacks, leave me a comment. I'll definitely address it in a timely fashion. Until next time, I'm out.